Greetings and welcome to another Impressions video here at Words About Games, and today we're going to be looking at Sundown. Sundown is a top-down, arena-based shooter with a fantastic twist to its otherwise fairly standard gameplay. All of its maps are covered in darkness, rendering all combatants invisible unless they step into a light source, dash, or fire their weapon. Players won't be able to see each other, or even their own characters, as they try to maneuver their way around the various arenas of the game and murder their opponents. It's a brilliant concept for a rapid-fire multiplayer shooter such as this, making Sundown a really compelling twin-stick shooter that's brilliantly fun to play with some friends. What would have been an otherwise fairly standard competitive shooter is made so much more entertaining thanks to the brilliant twist of the light-dark mechanic. I can't overstate how enjoyable it is to jump into an arena with some friends and stumble around blindly in the dark, trying your best to keep track of where you are and where your opponents could possibly be. It helps that this is a brilliantly simplistic game outside of the darkness mechanics. You move and aim as you would in any twin-stick shooter, moving with the left stick and aiming with the right. Aside from this, you have a dodge, which will give away your position by leaving a trail of smoke and the colour of your character, and a secondary attack, which is tied to each individual weapon. Auto rifles, for example, can fire timed explosives that stick to walls, or revolvers also come equipped with flares that can be used to light up a specific area. And that's it. There are no advanced or particularly complex controls or special abilities to get in the way of simply running about in the dark and shooting blindly at shadows. Inventively designed levels play a big part in the fun too. There are different zones with a variety of maps within each zone. Zones are essentially the theme. There's the mansion or factory, for example, and each zone comes with its own set of unique environmental mechanics. Each map in the mansion is particularly dark, with multiple rooms of various sizes and not too many light sources. Players will be intermittently lit up, however, by flashes of lightning from outside. Factory maps are filled with twisting and turning corridors, and also have laser tripwires that will temporarily light up any player that walks through them. Sundown is unfortunately not perfect, however. There's a bit of imbalancing between different weapons that sees some simply being more useful than others. Of the starting weapons, the revolvers are clearly more powerful than any of the other weapons, thanks to their decent range of attack, and it being the only weapon whose bullets bounce. In a traditional twin-stick shooter, this might not be so overpowered, but thanks to Sundown's darkness mechanics, where players will oftentimes not be fully aware of where they are when they're shooting, having a gun equipped whose bullets can still find their targets if you miss your shots is a big advantage, especially against other weapons with much shorter ranges, such as the SMGs or shotgun. The unlockable sniper rifle that can shoot through walls across the entire map can also confer a huge advantage. This is partially solved by Sundown's best game mode, Back to Basics. It's one of the first unlocks you'll come across and drops players into matches all equipped with the same one-shot shotgun that needs to reload after each blast. You can replicate this effect somewhat thanks to the game's incredibly robust match options, which give you a few variables you can set, such as forcing everyone to have the same weapon equipped or limited players to a single clip of ammo. The unlock system itself is a bit of a frustration. Every match will award players with XP, which fuels the unlockables in the game. By hitting XP milestones, you'll unlock new weapons, game modes, and zones, and some of the best content in Sundown is hidden behind this XP system. Mods like Back to Basics or zones like Disco, which is such a brilliantly creative set of levels that plays really well into the game's signature mechanic, have to be unlocked through an XP grind. While it doesn't feel terrible to unlock, this is a game that is immediately fun to play. It's a bit frustrating that some of the most fun in the game is locked away and not available as soon as you start playing. I understand why an XP progression system will give players an incentive to keep playing, but I feel like Sundown is such an enjoyable experience with a few friends that it didn't need the carrot on the stick. Regardless of whether there was an XP bar or not, I'd still insist on playing this game with my friends because it's a good time. In the end, Sundown is a gloriously fun, competitive multiplayer shooter thanks in large part to its signature mechanic. It's also the most I've laughed while playing a multiplayer game this side of the Sea of Thieves beta. It's just fun. Fun to run around the game with no idea where your opponents or even your own character are, trying to determine their location, attempting to psych them out, briefly revealing where you are, or maybe locked in an intense and absurd standoff when none of you are moving. If you and a few friends are looking for an enjoyable multiplayer game, you can do a lot worse than picking up Sundown. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. If you've enjoyed it, please keep it here at Words About Games. We've got tons of content, including our weekly podcast, more impressions videos, patch notes, and our weekly indie game of the week. We also stream over on Twitch at twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. And most importantly, have a great day.